Around the final corner now, up towards the main straight comes the Aston Martin. Oh, Zionical. Thank you for clarifying for that, Kluka. I just saw your comment. Anatus does a 17.6. Rensley just warming about his tires, getting ready for another lap. Sir Charles on an out lap as well. Bats as well. Let's see how Silent can do. Let's see if he's got a bit more pace than that Ferrari. I'm sure he's got a bit more pace. Heading up towards turn 3 in the Scuderia. Of course, this car had a bit of an update as well with basically its looks. As you can see, it has the HP logos. That's actually something that they just got sponsored by in the during the Miami Grand Prix week, if I'm correct. Silent does a 26.6. He's up by just over a tenth to the first sector. He has a well, he's coming up towards the DRS zone, I should say. DRS wide open for the Ferrari, up towards now turns 9 and 10. Doesn't use the overtake there, just using it wisely. He does lose a little bit of time in that middle sector. He's up by now just 62 thousandths. Now turns the battery on for just a brief moment. Up towards now turn 11. Down to 4th gear, not 3rd gear like I've seen from other drivers. As he heads up towards now turn 12. Now into the tricky corners of 13 and 14. Hard on the brakes, down to 3rd. A little bit of a rear slide at the exit of turn 13. And then up towards now the main straightaway. He'll cross the line to set a 16.9. Okay, so a little bit of a gap still between the top 2 and everyone else. Remsley in the Alpine and the Carbon Alpine, pretty much. As professional now goes, sorry, prof, I should say. Some guys retire from the session, I believe. Right, okay. Well, I'm not sure if he did that in the pits or whether there were 2 yellow flags I did notice on the mini-map. He must have done that in the pits. That's my only rough guess. Remsley heading up towards the final couple of turns, locking up the front left tire. Heads around the final couple of corners. More yellow flags. That's just drivers just trying to get ready, of course. Remsley, he has a 15.8 to beat. What will the time be? It's a 15.9. He improves by just over a tenth, but not enough to get B-Tom's time. So Charles heading up towards the final corner, up towards the start-finish line, opens the battery, or turns on the battery, and he will set a 16.6. He goes up to 4th, still in the top 5 for him. GTR line heading up towards turn 11, locking up, down to 3rd and short shifting up to 4th on the exit of turn 11. The quick right-hander 12, and then hard on the brakes down to 13. Around the final corner now, pretty tricky area. You got to master it, the traction there around that particular corner. Can't be quite tricky if you're not careful. Lion does a 16.545. He goes up into 4th. As Silent will go around to do another lap. So it seems like I've been noticing a few drivers like just out and about doing the. Are they doing the same lap on the same tire? Yeah, Silent's doing another lap on those same tires. He's on 4 lap old softs now. The same tires he used at the start. Well, at the start of qualifying, I could say really, since he got out onto the track. Does he have any time in the first sector? And he does. As a matter of fact, he's up by nearly a tenth. He's also low on fuel as well, so he's got to be very careful. As Rafa goes up to PA with a 1.17.0, improves by nearly 7/10 of a second. Silent up by 2/10. So with that improvement, he doesn't have enough yet to beat Sir Charles, though. But still, though, the fact that he's still finding a bit of time even on those tires is actually quite impressive. I'll give him that. He's got about a couple more corners to negotiate, does the Ferrari driver. I think he's backed out. Yeah, he has. Yeah, he's going back into the pits, so he will not go forward into the lap. B-Tom, meanwhile, hanging up towards turn 12 and into turns 13 and 14. I think he is still pushing. Yep, he's still pushing. Around the final corner and head up towards the line. Will he improve on the time? The answer is yes by another 2/10 with a 1:15.660. Yep, he did that on a different set of tires as well. Bats heading up towards turn 7 in the Papaya machine, up by nearly 2/10 of a second to the first sector. Already intention to probably get into somewhere around the top 5, I think. See if he's got anything in the middle sector here. All flat out through this back area of the track. He has found a little bit more. He's up by just over 2/10. Probably about a few hundreds he found in that middle sector, I'd say. Now can he find any more in the final sector? He's got just about 3 more corners remaining in the lap. Pushing the limits of that McLaren. A little bit of a lockup again through turns 13 and now into turn 14. Now it's just foot to the floor. No DRS open, interestingly. But he does improve with a 16.7. Interestingly, he doesn't use DRS on the main straight. Alright, Antaeus will... Or Antaeus. Antaeus? Yeah, Antaeus, I think is his name. Sorry if I've been butchering your name a little bit. Hey, up towards turn 3. Down to third gear, hey, around the right-hander. One of the slower areas of the racetrack. Through turn 4 and then turn 5. Now up towards turns 6 and 7. Antaeus, he's up by just over 2 3/4 of a tenth of a second to the first sector as B-Tom has left the session. Hopefully you'll be able to rejoin. Well, if he wants to do another lap, he's got about 3 minutes. He needs to be out on the track about 1:15, I'd say. Antaeus, meanwhile, up by 3/10 of a second to the middle sector. The L5s are probably for Bats, probably just going slowly, I imagine. Maybe a little bit wide there from Antaeus there into turn 13. Or turn 11, I'm sorry. This is turn 13. Alright, final couple of corners now for the Aston Martin driver. Down the main straightaway. Does he improve on this lap? He does, with a 17.2. He gets ahead of Zionical with a 1:17.250. Oreo and the Williams heading up towards turn 11. Down to third gear, heading up towards turn 12. And now the drivers are starting to get out and about on their out lap as well. I don't think B-Tom has come back into his car. Or around the final corner, up towards the line he comes. Doesn't look like he's going to improve on the lap, unfortunately. Well, he does improve on the lap, he doesn't improve to gain a position, I should say. Alright, Lion getting ready, Sir Charles getting ready, Remsley also getting ready as well. I think the first driver will be Lion, I believe, will be doing another lap. Alright, here we go. Final 1.5 minutes remaining in qualifying. This will be the driver's final laps. Lion will be the first one, up towards turn 1 and 2. Pushing the absolute limits of that Alpine. And up towards turn 3 with the DRS open. Entry speed 189 miles an hour, locking up as well into turn 3. Up towards turn 4. Using a bit of the outside curve as well in the exit. And then up towards turn 5. What will the clock say for Lion? He's up by 72 thousandths as Zionical has retired. I think he's crashed, as a matter of fact. Based on the mini-map, it looks like he's crashed out of the final turn. So that's officially him out of qualifying. Lions up by 0.2 of a second. Remsley up to the first sector is down by 90 thousandths. Prof is on an outlap getting ready. I should have remembered that. Sir Charles is invalidated. I think that's it for him in qualifying. Rafa has just started a lap. Silo has just started his lap as well. See if Lion can find any more time here. Up towards the final couple of corners for the Alpine driver. Round the final turn. Up towards the line. He uses up all the battery he can use, and he goes into fourth with a 16.230. Beef Thomas just joined, but obviously he won't be doing a lap because he couldn't even get out onto the racetrack. Remsley, though, has got a car in front. Oh dear, that might impede him a little bit here. He gets a bit of a sneaky toe there from the Haas. I think that's Sir Charles, if I'm not mistaken. And Remsley does not improve, but he did get a bit slightly impeded, it looked like, there from the Haas. I don't think Remsley would be too pleased about that. Yeah, because he looked like he was going quite slowly, was Sir Charles. Prof is up by just over 10th and 3/4. Silent, though. He's about to finish the lap around the... Oh, he has a bit of a real snap at the exit of 13. I think it might have cost himself a bit of time. Does he improve? No, he does not. Oh, no, he does. I'm sorry. He does a 16.289. He goes up to 5th position. Bats up by 3/10. Professional is heading up towards the final corner of the... heading out towards the final corner. Onto the main straight. Crossing the line. Only 3rd fastest professional. Or prof, I should say. Bats, I think, has improved as well to somewhere in the top 6. But it's Beaton that will start on pole position for the Australian Grand Prix. He didn't need to get out and do another lap. He gets pole position by 0.3 of a second. Remsley will start in P2, followed by Prof in 3rd. Lion 4th, Silence, Sir Charles, Bats, Rafa, Antaeus, Zionical, Speedy Gunner, Some Guy, and Oreo will round off the 13 cars in the field. Okay. Well, Camden just alerted me that apparently we're going to have a lobby reset because ABS wasn't supposed to be turned off. Yeah. So I'm guessing, like, it was supposed to be, what? ABS turned on, that was it? Oh, goodness me. And it's raining. Wow. Well, these conditions are going to get quite interesting, isn't it? Got a massive amount of rain. Right, so I'm guessing... Are we staying in the lobby, or what are we doing? Well, everyone's leaving. So what, does that mean I have to do the same thing, then? I guess... we are? Yeah, I'm just trying to look through the Discord real quick. Sorry if I'm being a bit confused on this. Yeah, it's okay. So it is a new lobby, so we will go back. Right. And I think Sergeant told me he will be, I guess, joining at the end of... Well, it was the end of the session. Well, if he's still joining, well, good news is he's got plenty of time to do it. What would be F1 league racing without any problems? Actually, ooh, I better turn that off, otherwise I'm gonna be... I don't want to get this copyrighted. I just realized that. Audio, where are you? There you go, same. Is that the theme? Huh. I just want to make sure that I've got, like... Right, okay. Well, whatever. I think we fixed that issue. Oh, right. I forget when you go into the showroom, if, like, you click on the car that you're looking at, it doesn't, like, have the thing to hide the UI. Ah, here we go. Well, that was my little brief moment of just trying to figure out what the hell to do here. Who on earth is Shane Jarvis? Well, whatever I just did, it did turn off the music, so yeah. Hopefully we don't get copyrighted for this. Yeah, that would be the last thing I would want to happen. Kluka votes for dumping rain. Yeah, why not, Kluka? Just let the chaos ensue. That's the beauty of me being a commentator for this occasion. I don't have to worry about these sort of conditions, but the drivers have to, of course. Alright, well, I guess we better wait a little bit then, since trying to sort all the technical difficulties. Do apologize for that as well. But, oh goodness me. Well, still got another few more weeks until summer break's over. What can I talk about F1 wise? Oh, of course. Well, I mean, there has been a couple of news as far as like the silly season goes. Well, I might as well discuss. I know most recently, of course, Williams have decided that they are going to replace Logan Sargent. Of course, he's going to be replaced by Carlos Sainz. I mean, I do feel happy for Carlos. At least he has a seat. But I mean, of course, as an American, I do feel a bit sorry for Logan Sargent. I kind of feel like Sargent's been a little bit screwed over, if I'm totally honest, with how everything's been going for him in this season so far. And then, what else has it been? You've got Haas have announced a new lineup as well, with the likes of Esteban Ocon and Oliver Behrman. I never really imagined that, Esteban Ocon going to Haas. But yeah, after all the turmoil that Burr-Feyman had with Esteban, of course, didn't want there anymore. And, now it said he wasn't going to be racing for them anymore after what happened in Monaco between him and Pierre Gasly. But yeah, that basically means, like, who is going to take over Alpine's seat? Well, there are some speculation that it could be, in my opinion, I say it's probably going to be Jack Doohan. I'd say that will take over that seat. But there's also Kevin Magnussen. He's still up in the market. Well, of course, also Logan's all in that market as well. But the only way Logan's going to be in the market is if he actually does well in F1. But I know so far he hasn't really had the greatest season. Kevin Magnussen has had a bit of a subpar season, because Haas hasn't really been carried by Hulkenberg. and that's something I'll actually lead into about him. He actually got announced that well, not just, but he got announced what was it, a few weeks ago, a couple weeks ago, something like that. They announced that he would be driving for Sauber in 2025, which, I mean, not a total surprise since Sauber is going to be converted into Audi, of course, in 2026. The only thing we don't know about the other seat, though, is who's going to be with Hulkenberg. Like, of course, is Bottas going to still keep driving? I honestly don't even see Zhou Guanyu even staying in F1, in my opinion. Ah, thanks, Line. Oh, that's who it was. Okay. Is that Governor? Yeah, I've seen that name pop up somewhere. I just wasn't sure who exactly was. Yeah, it'll be cool to see Audi joining the sport though in 2026. I'm actually very much looking forward to seeing how they will actually do. Will they actually? I I mean, I'm not gonna expect them to be like, let's say, a top team, of course. Like that's there's no way. I probably would say if once they get into F1 in 2026, I probably would expect them to be like somewhere in the midfield. But I think they'll be a decent team, but we'll wait and see. But yeah, with someone like Hulkenberg though manning the helm for Sauber slash Audi in 2026, well, Sauber 2025, Audi 2026. He's a good, capable driver, but yeah, question is though is who's going to be paired with him. Imagine the Haas drivers like they go from Haas to Sauber slash Audi, both Magnussen and Hulkenberg. I doubt that would happen, but we'll wait and see. Yeah, Bottas though, I'm not sure what he'll do. I mean, it just seems like he's just there to just now drive at this point, but like, I don't know. I just don't know if he'll like continue. I don't know if he will just retire or whatever the case may be. Uh, but there are some seats though but there is one particular seat though that's still, well, actually no, two seats that are technically still in question or up in the air, and that's basically involving the Red Bull camp with Sergio Perez, of course, how he's been doing in this season in Red Bull has just been probably, I would say, the worst performances I've ever seen in his career so far. Like he's just not been there in terms of like trying to be up to, because he's in like he's in a top 4 car. Like he should be like fighting for podiums and stuff. But he has had the most wretched season ever. But yeah, not only that, but he's also cost Red Bull a lot of money as well, about like $2.7 million, I think it was. Yeah, and there's like this little table I remember seeing from, I think it source called Racing 365, I think it was called. Um, yeah, according to the World Destructors Championship, he leads with $2.7 million. If you want to know where the big portion of that money came as well, that's when I'd say a lot of that money was when he crashed at Monte Carlo, if you remember when he collided with those two Haas's at Beau Rivage. But the other seat I was going to talk about is Ricciardo's seat. Of course, there's been questions about whether Ricciardo will or will not be continuing at RB and make way for Liam Lawson. But yeah, Ricciardo though, I know like he's a good driver, but he just hasn't been the same as he used to be. And yeah. I wouldn't necessarily be surprised if he actually probably made way for Liam Lawson to join an RB. It's funny though that no one has put Yuki Tsunoda into the conversation, despite the fact that he's actually been consistently scoring points for RB. But I guess we'll wait and see. Anyway, yep, we've got rain here in Australia. It looks like they actually changed a bit of the rain as well. It's not wet anymore. It's now intermediate conditions. Why I say that because, well, not just the raindrops being lightly coming down, but also the fact that I can see in Rafa's garage that he's got intermediate tires on. So, there's your little indication of that as well. I have no idea though if we have formation lap on though. I mean, obviously, in the past few times, like, well, in other leagues I've seen not use formation lap because of the tire temps being all buggy during a formation lap. I know in this game though, from what I understand, that the tire temperature is very hard to get up a little bit, especially during a formation lap. They tend to get quite cold, so you got to be very mindful of how you warm up your tires. Okay, so there is a formation lap that will get underway. Alright, so we don't need a tire graphic then. Actually, we probably won't need the other bits. We all know that everyone's on the intermediate tires. That's quite clearly obvious. Everyone all just creeping about. And I have these horrible frame rates from the spray. That honestly looks... Look at the spray coming off the cars. It looks quite shocking, and everyone's going slow. It's like everyone's just going to a crawl here. P-Tom, of course, is leading the formation lap. He is in his car, isn't he? I think so. This has to be the slowest formation lap I've actually seen. Like, ever. I don't think I've ever seen a formation lap be this slow. Yeah, Ramsley's not wasting any time. He just goes ahead of V-Tom. He could be still dealing with connection issues. Yeah, so everyone's just trying to get ahead of him, of course. The line doesn't bother doing that. Some people are waving about, obviously, trying to get temperature into the tires as best they can. Yeah, the start will be quite tricky. Game says that a one stop is the optimal stop according to the graphic. Lap 14 to 18. Okay, and V-Tom has just teleported onto the starting grid. So yeah, he must be dealing with some sort of connection issue again. Dear, oh dear. Two Williams cars going side by side. Of course, trying to get onto the grid. Silent also disqualified himself from the formation lap. What on earth is... That is so bad. Look at the spray. It looks so blocky. And then you have like the light crescent from the back. It looks like there's like God or something just appearing onto the racetrack. But anyway, 5 red lights for the Australian Grand Prix for round 1 of the championship, and we're underway. Even though I got a horrible camera angle. Good start there from Remsley, and a good start from Prof up towards the first corner. V-Tom looks like he's got his issues all sorted out. Oh, silence! And Lion going a little bit squirrely there at the exit of turn 2, up towards turn 3. And up towards turn 3 for the first time in these conditions here in Australia, side by side between the Ferrari and the Alpine as they head up towards turn 4. Sadly, they're trying to keep the Alpine at bay. Oh, contact there. It looked like a little bit between the Ferrari and the Alpine as the Ferrari gets in front. Silent staying in 4th for now. This spray might be a little bit weird there. Hello there, Zyonical. Oh, Rafa, got to keep the car under control. There was contact between him and his teammate. Out of turn 7, up towards turn 9 we go. Top 3, though, have actually started to pull away, it looks like, from everybody else. B-Tom is leading, followed by Remsley and Prof, as they head up towards turn 11. So everyone trying to be cautious as best they can. Don't want to do anything too stupid on the first lap. We've had a bit of moments here and there. Oh, Rafa struggling in these conditions. The car nearly went off on him at turn 11. And dropping down to 13. Oreo's just hanging back in 13th. B-Tom, though, leads the first lap by just nearly 0.7 of a second over Remsley. That is such horrible spray visually. It looks terrible. I've seen better spray come up in PS2 games. My goodness me. Up towards turn 3 we go here. B-Tom still leading, Remsley, Prof, Silent, Lion. That's your top 5. So Charles a little bit further back from Lion. But he's got a bit of a train for him behind him here in the form of Bats, Antaeus, Zyonical, Speedy, some guy, and Rafa in this whole pack. Whoa. I think I saw one of the cars going loose. There might have been some guy, I believe, in the Williams going a little bit squirrely there. Up towards turns 9 and 10 here. B-Tom just hanging about in the lead, about nearly a second clear of Remsley. Trying to pull away as best as he possibly can. Up towards turn 12 we go. Bats trying to overtake Sir Charles. There's contact there, a little bit of rubbing wheels. But the McLaren does stay in front of him for now. Up towards now the main straightaway. Remsley still trying to keep at tabs with B-Tom here. Up towards turn 3. B-Tom, Remsley, Prof. It's a 1-3 so far for Mercedes at the moment. Some guy overtaking Speedy Gunner. Up towards turn 3. That might have been happening at turn 2. The RB's trying to stay in front of the Red Bull, and he does stay in front of him for now. He's up to 11th position. That has to be the worst spray I've ever seen. I really am not joking how terrible it looks. Yellows are out. That's that's Wario. Spinning out at turn 3. He's actually brought debris on the racetrack as well when he hit the wall. And why is the yellow flag indicator like flashing there? Oh, that's close. Contact. Oh dear. Bump and run there from some guy, or some Speedy Gunner, sorry, overtaking Rafa. Gee whiz. That was nearly close to disaster. Antaeus overtaking Bats. Interestingly, there at turn 12. And it seems like, I think, Silent has also brought himself into the mix as well. He's now under a second behind the Ferrari driver, as Oreo gets a penalty for multiple warnings. Yeah, that has to be the worst frame rates for rain I've ever seen in my life. How on earth can you make it look so bad and so blocky? I've seen Minecraft look better than that. That's meanwhile hanging onto the back of Mateus. He might be losing touch a little bit here to the Aston driver. Oreo out of the race. He's retired in the pits. He has had enough. At the end of lap 4, he's done. Rafa overtaking some guy there. That is at turn, okay, up to turn 9. They're side by side. The RB and the Red Bull making contact there. The RB stays in front of the Red Bull for now. Meanwhile, up front, Beatom 1 second ahead of Remsley at the moment. They're kind of modulating a little bit here of the gaps between the top 4. Prof right now hanging on to 3rd position. He's got Silent though for company as they head towards turns 1 and 2. You can see Prof, losing the back end there, turn 2. I think I was trying to say initially, I was going to say about the battery with Silent. His battery looks a bit low. He's got about, that's probably about 25, 30% I'd say he's got. Oh! Gee whiz, Prof. Here comes Silent to take advantage of that mistake. And he does. He's now up to 3rd place. Prof might be struggling on those rear tires, I imagine. Prof though might come back at him. He's got a lot of battery to play with. Doesn't have enough momentum to pass the Ferrari. Here's your little battery to give you the idea. Also, you may see it there on the indicator. His fuel icon is yellow. That means he's below the target. Rafa has overtaken Speedy Gunner. And meanwhile, those two are still exchanging places. There's yellow flags, and that's Rafa and Speedy Gunner coming together at turn 10. It was quite inevitable, I think, because those two were making contact with one another for quite some time. But unfortunately, one of them... Oops, sorry. I pressed the home button. One of them got the short end of the stick. Or both of them got the short end of the stick, I should say. And Rafa also had damage as well. I'm not sure if I caught the RB getting damage. Ramsey, though, still hanging on. He's got a good amount of battery compared to Beatom. About 35% for Beatom and nearly 100% for Ramsey. He's got some solid pace. I do remember his time in last season in TCR. He was really good in these sort of conditions. So it's not a very big surprise that he actually has carried that over. Alright, Prof heading up towards turn 9 and 10. Right on the back of Silent with the slipstream. ERS to use as well. And not much that the Ferrari could do in that situation. As Professional moves up into 3rd place. Meanwhile, though, we got Antaeus, Bats, Zionical battling away here. Up towards turns 11 and now to turn 12. Antaeus trying to hold those two at bay as best he possibly can. Oh, a bit deep there from Zionical. Really struggling there, it seems, with the car. Meanwhile, these two here, Silent, Lion. Oh, a bit deep there from Prof here. Silent, can he capitalize on the mistake? No, he can't quite do so. Not close enough. To the fast right-hander of 5. Up towards turn 6 and turn 7. Down to 5th. As Speedy Gunner gets the penalty. Oh, goodness! How on earth did Silent manage to keep that car pointing straight? Yeah, those two are... Prof and Silent have had a bit of moments here and there. Crazy that none of them have found the barrier from the mistakes I've been seeing. There's Lion there. He's just having his own little race there in 5th position. He's about 4.5 seconds off the road from Antaeus. But he's 6.5 seconds behind Silent and Prof. Meanwhile, Beatom, though, it looks like he's definitely put the hammer down. He's up by 1.8 seconds. Yellow's out. That's for Speedy Gunner. Guessing he must have had a moment somewhere at turn 10, I'm guessing, because that's where the yellow flags were. Some guy is out. Has he crashed at the main straight, or is he retired in the pits? Nope, he is retired in the pits. So he's called in the night, apparently. So we're now down to 11 cars in the session. Cyanical, 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. The second driver to get penalties. Actually, who has the fast lap? I didn't quite catch that. It's Remsley with a 28.1. Or 28.1? Yeah, 28.1. Actually, him and Beatom have done the exact same time, I've just noticed too. Beatom also had 28.1 as well. Yeah, so far, these two are the closest battles right now we've got on track. These two packs of Prof, Silent, and then this group here with Antaeus, Bats, and Zionical. There's also Sir Charles in the background there in the Haas. Maybe he could get quite into the mix as well. Up towards the first corner. That's not close enough to do anything there. Bit tricky to overtake in these sort of conditions. You gotta pray for someone to make a mistake, really, around this place in order to overtake around a track like Melbourne. Yeah, there's Sir Charles there. Loomy in the background, 1.4 behind Zionical. Towards 9 and 10. Nothing doing there for either driver. Staying where they exactly are. And it looks like Silence actually lost out a professional. He must have made a mistake somewhere. Considering those two were quite close to one another. He's now down by 4.7 seconds. As Prof sets the fast lap with a 28.0. His name is so big that it doesn't even fit all of the graphic. Meanwhile, Bats comes into the pits. He'll be the first one to make a pit stop. To get off of the old interiors and onto a new one. Well, that's interesting. I felt the haptic feedback of him going into the pit lane. That's something I wouldn't have expected. Yeah, it was weird. Like, I had the camera on Bats when he went into the pits, and then all of a sudden, like, I felt the feedback of him going in to the pits, like his car being on the jacks and whatnot. I don't know if anyone's commented, but if anyone has, I apologize for not reading your comments. It's just my laptop was running low on battery and I turned it off, so I'm not really seeing the comments at the moment. So I do apologize if you are putting up the comments. That is. Yeah, I'm guessing Sergeant as well. My co-commentator didn't make it in time, I'm guessing, for this race, so probably will be coming for the next one, which will be in Montreal. Oh, that's a bit of a slide from the Red Bull. Zionical really sliding the car thereabouts, as Gunner gets a 3-second penalty for corner cutting. There's the Haas to Sir Charles. It might be back into a 3-car fight again soon if he catches up. There's yellow flags in Sector 3. And that is Speedy Gunner spinning at turn 12. Has the RB got damage from that? No, it does not seem like he does, but he has unfortunately gone for a little bit of an oopsie. Oh! Psionical, my goodness! How on earth did he keep that thing pointing in the right direction? I've seen that with Prof and Silent. As Rafa's out. I think he's crashed at turn 4. He has, and that's a safety car. And perfect time for B-Tom to go into the pits and everybody else. They are all coming into the pit lane. And yep, new intermediates for B-Tom. New intermediates as well for Ramsley and Prof. Won't be affected whatsoever from the double stack. Silent comes into the pits as well. There's the Ferrari crew. He'll get the car on the jacks. And away he leaves. Hickham's line as well. Yep, everyone, of course, coming into the pits. I think this might have screwed over Bats, though. Trying to fight with Antaeus and Zionical. Flashing, wait and see. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, no, he'll get ahead of. He actually gets ahead of all 3 of them apparently. Huh. Okay. In fairness, though, that's right. He did pay about a couple laps earlier than those 2. So that now we've got 10 cars left. That basically means everyone that's still running can score points. Because, yeah, the TCR point system is the same as the F1 point system. I'll be back in just 1 minute. I just gotta do something really quick. Okay. Yeah, so the only person people were waiting for this little group that's behind Prof. And then, of course, Speedy Gunner is the only one we have to wait for. Oh, that's a new little feature. I don't think I've seen that before, but the lights that you see, the starting lights, are flashing during the safety car period. I never knew that was a thing. If you know what I'm talking about, like the 5 red lights, not like the marshal post where it like indicates a safety car. Like the 5 red lights are somehow flashing. I've never seen that before. It looks cool. Just gotta wait for Speedy Gunner to catch up now. Yeah, I think we're gonna go for 1 more lap under the safety car. Because I doubt that Speedy Gunner will catch them at this rate. Yep, so we're going one more lap into the safety car. Yeah, you got the lights flashing there, where the 5 red lights would normally be. Yeah, it's quite interesting. Yeah, quite interesting. I did think that looks quite cool. Yeah, what probably isn't cool for some of the drivers that the rain has not really lightened up at all to be dry. It's just been staying wet for the large periods of the race. Okay, now the safety car is coming in. So now it will peel back into the pits, and Beatom will take control of the safety car. Restart. Why on earth is that flashing? That just looks super weird. Hey, Tom's going. He went quite early, it seems. He actually went before turn 12. And yeah, we're going to be going right now. Back in the green here in Melbourne. Lap 15 of 29 will now commence. It's Beatom that leads the way from Remsley, Prof, Silent, I got to get used to that. Silent, Lion, and then Bats did not seem like he got a good restart. He's 1.3 seconds behind Lion. So he got caught a little bit sleeping. Speedy Gunner gets a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. Penalties keep on racking up for the RB driver. Meanwhile, up towards the front here, Beatom, Remsley, Prof, and Silent in this little group again. Again, another moment there from Prof. There at the exit of turn 5. Does Silent have the run to get by the Mercedes-Benz? They're both on the overtake as well. Looks like Silent's turned it off, so he's not bothering. He's in the slipstream, but yeah, just does not have enough speed to get by the Mercedes. Stays behind for now. Meanwhile, up towards the front here, Remsley trying to hang on here, keep up with Beatom. As Silent trying to hang on as well to the other Mercedes. Oh, gee whiz. Yeah, I don't think Professional's car doesn't look quite suitable in these conditions. Can argue the same story for Silent. They've both kind of been struggling on front-running pace compared to Remsley and Beatom. Beatom already has a 1-second lead, building up towards a 1-second lead between himself and Remsley as they head around turn 3, up towards turn 4. There's a line in the background, there's Bats. But I'm gonna guess as well this will be the same story we've been seeing pretty much the majority of this race. Does the Ferrari have any legs to get by the Mercedes-Benz? The answer is not quite. Stays in front there. Does Prof. Up towards turn 11. And you can see how he's just configuring with the ERS system. Oh, that's another thing I didn't mention. You can use hot lap as well in this in the race as well. So it's no longer medium or hot overtake. You can actually use nut as well to recharge the battery. It's a very weird system, how it's done in this game. Yeah, he's got the overtake on, does silent, yellow flies out, shoots around the outside of turn 1. Does he get the move done? He does! Wow. That was very good move there from Silent, very clean. No contact whatsoever, he moves up into third. But does Prof fight back? No, he does not. That was a very good move around the outside. Oh! Solid nearly losing the back end there of the car there at turn 5. Yellow flags again down the main straight. That's Speedy Gunner, I believe. As Zionical has a moment there at turn 7. That's allowed Sir Charles to go through up into 8th position. Everyone seems relatively spread out apart from these two who are battling for 3rd place. To the outside. Oh, that's a squeeze. A little bit of curve off in there from the Ferrari. And Prof does it around the outside. He gets him back. That was very good. 2 moves around the outside by both drivers. Oh, that was clean. It was hard racing, but it was clean nonetheless. Towards 1, turn 2, and then up towards turn 3. Prof still hanging on the front. Gunner causing yellow flags. Again, he's really having a wretched race in that RB. Yeah, these two just doesn't necessarily have the pace to keep up with the top 2, being Remsley and B-Tom. Remsley, though, is still hovering behind, 1.3 behind B-Tom to be exact. Silence got that on medium, now he's on to none. Trying to save a battery as he goes through that area. Yeah, it's crazy how now in this game you really have to manage the ERS. There's a lot of play in terms of ERS management. Of when you turn on medium, when you turn on none. Quite a unique thing, but yeah, it's kind of like, it's kind of similar to what we saw on F1 2018 and 19, except without the 5 modes. That's what it kind of reminds me of a little bit. Overtake on, now it's off, back to medium, back to none. Obviously to recharge the battery. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird way though how you gain battery even when you have it on none. Even if you go on a straight and have it on none, you'll still gain electrical energy. Not really how I'll be honest though, it's not really how ERS works or hybrids work. It's basically the way you gain battery in real life is by gaining electrical energy from braking and also from lifting and coasting. You don't get it by accelerating. That's what provides the power to your car. A little bit of real locking there I saw from the pair of them. There into turn 11. Yeah, looking like pretty much the same story as it was beforehand. It's just pretty much B-Tom leading the way. Then Remsley behind. He's still hovering there. Battery situation, it's pretty opposite actually, compared to what we saw a bit ago with B-Tom and Remsley. Remsley had a lot more battery compared to B-Tom in the first few laps of the race. Now it's kind of flipped the script a little bit. B-Tom's actually managing to manage the battery more sufficiently. Yeah, these two are still the closest we've got on track, battling for position. This is still the battle for the final podium position in this race. 9, 10. Like Prof got a bit of a better exit there out of those fast corners. Yeah, whilst there's nothing necessarily going on, I guess I can go over the calendar. Gee whiz. Silent nearly loses the car. Yeah, next week we got Monaco. We got Canada, then Monaco will be the third race. That actually will be a full qualifying session. The 27th, though, is a bit of an interesting one because that's a mystery race. I have no idea how that's going to work. Whether that's going to be chosen by vote of the drivers or by admins. But that'll be interesting. Fifth race will be in the Netherlands. Sixth, then we have a break after that. Then we go to Silverstone. That'll be the first sprint of the series. And actually, little notes as well for the sprint format in this game that I've actually picked up is that there will be two different sessions for that. We'll have the first session being qualifying for the sprint, then the sprint race itself, and then another qualifying session. That one will determine the main race. So there'll be 4 sessions technically in that whole thing. That'll be quite lengthy. Belgium will be after that, then Singapore, Austria, another lengthy one as well. The TCR Grand Prix, Zionical gets a penalty as well to mention as well. That's the one where we do like a couple of like one-shot qualifiers and then the 5-lap races, which will determine the grids for the race itself. And there will be points up for grabs, and that it can be quite long and it can be quite stressful, as I've done before at Saudi Arabia last year. It was quite a stressful experience, I will say. Hungary will be after that. That will be another sprint. Interesting. Hungary is a sprint. Then Kota, Japan, and then Brazil, which will be a 100% race, and then Qatar will close off the series. And it looks like as well, Remsley has lost a bit more time to Beatom. Beatom has definitely pulled a more of a bigger gap. The gap is now 3 seconds separating the top 2. Now, a little thing to note as well, because I'm on PlayStation, and obviously, as you can see, a lot of the other drivers are either PC or Xbox. Well, I should say one's an Xbox and a couple of them are on PC. With Discord, basically, because I have that now on my PlayStation, it doesn't necessarily share the audio for when you're using Discord on PlayStation. So, I'm going to be doing, if there is interviews, I'll do interviews with just Beatom if he does win the race. Sir Charles gets a penalty. But yeah, for the others, I might not be able to do so, which I'm sorry about that. But I know Sargent, who's my co-commentator, is on PC, and I think we're going to try to work on doing streams from his side. So, yeah, so we should be able to get everybody that is like from other consoles, being Xbox or PC. I'm honestly amazed Remsley hasn't gone back to PC. Unless he still has that issue. I remember like last season he had some issues with his PC. That's why he had to go back to his Xbox. Yellow flags. Yellow flags. Who's that for? Ah, it's Speedy Gunner. He must be just getting out of the way. He's ghosted, but hey, that's good sportsmanship. Even with him being a lap down. Just get out of the way of everyone else. You don't need to impede the others. Actually, as a matter of fact, Prof isn't too far away from Remsley. Whoa! Nearly has a moment there. So maybe we could see if Prof does have some sort of leftover pace. We can probably see maybe him in the mix for P2. Because I think right now B-Tom seems like he's a bit of his own class at the moment. He isn't like so far ahead, but he is quite far ahead with that 3.2 second margin. And there's Silent all over the back of Prof again. These two have been pushing the limits of their cars to the ragged edge. Here we go towards turns 9 and 10. 1.6 is the gap between Prof and Remsley. But so far nothing doing there. Bit of understeer there from Silent. That might be from the dirty air coming off of Prof's car. All that turbulent wake coming off the car in front of him. Silent really is pushing the hell out of that thing. Down the main straight we go. We're on lap 25 of 29. The yellow flags are out again. And that I think is for Zionical, if I'm not mistaken. Or is that Speedy? No, but Speedy Gunner. Yeah, he's lost the car again. Poor guy. I mean, I appreciate him trying to persevere, but yeah, it's been a very, very rough race for him. Well, the gap is closing. The gap is now 1.2 between Prof and Remsley. One second. And he's coming quick. Now we could see Remsley Prof, sorry, and Silent now in the mix in the battle for P2. Yeah, these two are showing a little bit better pace, I'm guessing, compared to Remsley. Alright, up towards the main straight we go. Lap 26 of 29, 4 more laps to go here in this Australian Grand Prix. We're on board with Alpine driver rear view camera. Quite close to the edge of that curb. And you can see the Mercedes still in the rear wing of that Alpine. Through 9 and 10 we go. Really all Remsley has to do is just keep that car on the road and not make a mistake. That is literally the last thing he would want to do, is make any sort of error. Not do something like what Professional just did. Goodness me, Prof. I'm seriously going to need to count the amount of times I've actually said Professional instead of saying Prof. More laps to go here in this race. They are right there. 3.5 tenths the margin between Remsley and Prof for the second position. And there's Silent there in the background. It's been raining all race so far here in Australia. It has not lightened up whatsoever. It's been pretty much the same as it's been since the start. Those yellow flags, that's Speedy Gunner, obviously getting out of the way. He's been lapped a second time. You know, if there's the RB. And he gets out of the way. Around the final corner now, up towards the main straight. Sir Charles gets a penalty, multiple warnings. Only 3 drivers with penalties in this race. Penultimate lap. Oh, Remsley had that thing sideways at the entry to turn 1. That was pointy lean to the entry of the corner. But Prof does not capitalize that sort of mistake. He has to stay behind for now. Oh, Silent made a little bit of a mistake, it seemed, there at turn 4. Up towards turn 7 we go. Four and a half tenths the margin here. 3.5 tenths. He's closing, but he doesn't have the resources to help him. He's got to save up a little bit as best he can. But Remsley is making quite a bit of mistakes, and he's got the run, does Prof. Oh, but not enough. He has to stay behind. On the outside, Remsley squeezes him, and he goes off into the curb. Oh dear, As Remsley gives up he gives up 2 positions. Wow. Okay, I wasn't necessarily expecting that. And he didn't like make a mistake, he like genuinely let them through. I mean, it was a bit hard racing, but I don't think he necessarily needed to do that. It was just hard racing, to me at least. Right, so that might have just put Remsley really out of podium contention because of that move. Now just down to Silent and Prof for P2 then. As we are onto the final lap of the race as well, on lap 29 of 29. Silent on the back of Prof, up towards 7, 8. Silent has definitely got to try to capitalize. He's got a couple of chances to do something. Remsley, though, he's pretty much out of contention for the podium. Through 9, 10. Look at the run that the Ferrari's got. Squeeze him a little bit there, does the Mercedes, but not enough. Here comes Silent into the inside of turn 11. Does he get the move done? There's contact there into turn 11, and Silent goes through. He's up into second position. But meanwhile, out in front, it's been pretty much a masterclass from B-Tom. Around the final corner now. Up towards the line comes the Mercedes. He'll take victory here in Melbourne and takes home the Australian Grand Prix. Silent gets P2, Prof gets P3, Remsley gets P4. And it's just a long wait until the rest of the field comes. Lion gets a lonely 5th place. I'm sure he'll be happy, but he'll definitely have a little bit of work to do, considering the gap he's got to everyone in front of him. Matt's P6, Antaeus P7, Charles 8th, Zionical and Speedy Gunner will round it all off. But yeah, does he have fastest lap as well? Yeah, he does. So it's the Grand Slam for B-Tom. A grandstand start to the season for the Mercedes driver. Pole position, fastest lap, led every lap of the race, and took victory. All 4 ingredients you need to get a perfect race weekend for you. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So just get them all on speaker. Radio. Okay. Thanks for letting me know that, Camden. I'll try that and hopefully it works. Okay. But yeah, that would have been like something I should have thought of too. Cause like I was like trying to figure out how you guys did the podium interviews a while back. Only problem is that my phone is a little bit dead. Well, it's not dead. It's like at 13%, but I'll still give it a try. So let's see. Where is the comms? Don't join. Here it is. Right. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put my Discord profile in there. And then I'm gonna put this. Yeah, you can do your interview first. Alright. Alright, let's give this a go then. Oh, let me see how I'm gonna do this here. Alright, I think I got all you guys. Alright, guys, can you hear me real quickly? Oh, shoot, hang on a minute. Weird. How do I put the audio? Oh, here, I gotta change the output, that's it. Okay, can you hear me now? There we go, I figured it out now. I had to put my phone on speaker. Alright, can you hear me now? Okay, I can hear you guys perfectly. Alright, well, let's go ahead and get started then. I'll start off with B-Tom since you want to get your interview quickly. Well, start of the race, you had a pretty solid race, I should say, from start to finish. Got the Grand Slam from pole position, led every lap, fastest lap, and won. Talk me about your race.
It went pretty well. Honestly, couldn't have asked for more. Knowing that the race was wet, I was somewhat stressed because I don't know how to set up the car for wet races on this game, but at the same time, I knew there wasn't going to be any shenanigans with DRS. So I'd say overall I was happier about it being a wet race compared to a dry race. And yeah, I noticed pretty early on I had more pace than Remsley, and from there it was just cruising pretty much the whole time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm pretty sure you were at least satisfied that it was more like intermediate conditions rather than the wet conditions at the start, because I know that's how it was at the start of things before you guys had to do the lobby restart. So did that kind of like relieve you in some way?
I don't know. I mean, there's no way of knowing how the race would have panned out if it was wetter, but I think mine should have been pretty strong regardless. So Yeah, we've been having some discussions about it and suggestions, just like trying to see if there's like something we can do about maybe not using DRS in the last few laps of the race. Just because it kind of ruins the racing. So whenever there is a wet race, I don't really complain since it eliminates that issue.
All right, and one more question to you is that next season we move on to Montreal. How do you think you'll do around there?
I think I'll do all right. It's similar to this track in which the rears are usually the tires that go off first. And generally those are stronger tracks for me. I think like 2/3 of my wins in TCR are at rear limited circuits. So I'm looking forward to it. I think that one will probably end up being dry. If it's not, then good. But yeah, we'll see. It should be fun though.
Yeah, all right. Well, congratulations, though, on your race victory, and good luck to you for next week, of course. All right. I'm going to try and get both of you professional and silent because my phone is nearly dead. So, but yeah, pretty good race from you two overall. Although didn't really necessarily have the pace seem like at first to catch the top two. Well, until maybe the last couple of laps where you both caught up to Remsley at the end. But yeah, you guys had a really fought out battle. If I could get answers from just both of you at the same time, how did you guys fare with the think? Let me try to rephrase the question. How did you guys think you did overall from your perspectives?
I'll go first, I guess. Honestly, I was just kind of hoping to scrap together whatever. I just wanted to get home with some points on the table, knowing my difficulties. So yeah, but it was really nice. Battling all throughout the race with Prop was really fun. Probably the most fun I've had in a little while now. So it's really nice. But yeah, besides that, I had no speed in the straights, so anything I could have done was like short-lived until the end. So yeah.
Yeah.
It was actually pretty crap in terms of like how the car felt. In terms of the battling with Silent, that was really fun. Trying to manhandle the car through the corners because he definitely had more downforce. I could really feel that in Sector 1 and Sector 3. He just closed up massively, and I had to brake early just to not like go wide into rear lock. But on the straights, I just had the pace and just trying to manage that in front. And for some reason, at the start and then at the safety car restart, I just had no pace and got passed both times by Silent and had to repass him, and that's just I lost time. And until the tires kind of wore down, I couldn't keep pace with the top two and even Silent. So I think I was a comfortable like fourth fastest today. And then as as the tires wore down, I found pace, and I think Remsley overcooked his tires or something, and it was extremely hard work to try to catch him and pass him the second to last lap. Like I was sweating bullets, and then only to mess it up in the end of the DRS in Sector 2. So that was kind of a shame. But at the same time, it was good battling and it was good points. So I just wasn't very fun in terms of like driving the car. It was hard, challenging, but not very.
Okay. Well, the thing was that I felt with Remsley, I thought he might have just felt a bit bad for what happened at turn 11 because I noticed he kind of put a little bit of a squeeze on you at turn 11, and then it looked like he just pulled over to the side, which I thought was a bit odd.
Yeah, I was surprised because he needs to battle harder. He's a great driver. He's really, really fast, and I was surprised when he just kind of pulled off to the side because I was still behind him. And yeah, he kind of pushed me out, but at the same time, I was overambitious, braking actually later than I had been braking before, and not even making the corner. So I wouldn't have made the corner anyway. I don't see why he had to give it up, but I might have gotten them maybe a lap later. But it was like the final 2 laps or something, or yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean.
He was right behind us.
Yeah, I didn't really know. I didn't look that much. I just knew that if I kept it on track, I could have recovered something. If you guys had like a scrap or whatever, and that's kind of what happened. I didn't know that Katie was.
I had 2 warnings. Dude, I had 2 warnings like first 5 laps. I was driving pretty much on 2 warnings the entire race, and I was like so close to getting a penalty.
Dude, for me, what ended up happening is I underfueled by 0.4, and then you saw like the entire first stint I was like keeping up with you, and then I saw it was like 7 down, and I was like, oh shit, now I have to lift everywhere.
Yeah, I was 0.5 at the safety car. I was like, thank God for the safety car, because I don't think we would have made it, both of us.
Yeah. No, I was like, no, I got to start lifting like now.
Yeah.
Well, that's a great little race debrief there too. But no, it was good.
Like the pass that Silent made on me on the outside of turn 1, that was pretty epic. And then I think I got him back. I passed you. There was a really good overtake I did on you. It was turn 11, I think, on the outside.
Yeah. Yeah, I did see that. Like you two had 2 moves around the outside. Silent did it at turn 1. You did it at turn 11 on the same lap. That actually was quite cool to see. I did catch both of that. So if you want to watch that back, of course.
Hey, I gotta go because I'm about to do a race. I'm about to ready up in like 30 seconds. So.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll go and wrap it up all that then. But congratulations to both of you on your podiums, and good luck to you next week as well at Montreal. All right, and with that, I think that will be that. So, hopefully we got all the audio from the drivers there from the interviews. But yeah, that something a little different I had to do. But anyway, tune in next week as we've got, well, of course, more racing to come in TCR for the F1 side of things. If you also want to join in the other series such as NASCAR and IndyCar, I think they have as well. Maybe check out the Trinity Competitive Racing.com website and see what you can do, what you're interested in, and join from there. But until then, I have been K1997. Thank you very much, and we will see you next round at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve for the Canadian Grand Prix. Take care and goodbye.